Hello, this is the One Episode Rule, a podcast about first impressions. I am Magpie. I didn't watch any anime this time. I simply didn't.
It happens. It happens to the best of us. And when you want to know when the last time I watched anime was? Last week on this podcast.
So what y'all been doing?
Hi, I'm Joey. Yeah, I don't know, not much. My Jump subscription is about to run out, so I'm thinking maybe like within I think it runs out on the 12th or so. I'm like, I need to how much manga can I binge in like 2 days?
Just
Will I
like,
actually do it?
how much can you chug?
Well, here's the thing is, it doesn't matter how much you can read, because they only give you 100 chapters or a day or something.
Yeah, 100
So the
chapters.
answer is like, I could max out on 200 chapters, maybe. Maybe I would catch up on, like, One Piece and Chainsaw Man. With that amount, I could probably read something else, too. But,
You probably got room for like Dan to Dan as well and other
yeah,
stuff.
you're right, you're right.
Hi, I'm Louis. Have I done anything? What have I done? I haven't done anything anime related.
Did you
Really,
watch
I
more
watched.
of the...
No, I keep meaning to, and then I forget.
I think the
Yeah.
closest thing we did was watch the trailer for the Arxis Marvel game,
Oh yeah, we watched that new Marvel.
Yeah.
which is
Show
kind of
Fighter
anime.
footage. Yeah.
It looks great, is the thing.
I've already seen a lot of good memes about it, particularly ones with Iron Man that are just like, Jarvis, I'm getting my ass beat. Remove the load-bearing Goku from their game.
It's pretty good.
System
pretty
error. Do you guys want some news?
Yeah, let's have some news.
There isn't much news, so I'm dressing some stuff up. But this is something that maybe is only for me, but is tangentially related. Titmouse, the animation company, is gonna make a show for Casey Green's Anime Club animated series, i.e., the Twitter comic about the worst people you've ever met.
Wait, do I know that one?
You may know that it's got the worst nerd ever. It's always just like, we have to watch Princess Shiza-chan. It's art, you fucking Philistine.
Incredible. That sounds really weird.
I couldn't imagine how you could turn this into a show.
I mean,
Well,
I have to
animation and voice
imagine.
acting.
I have to imagine that it's gonna have like a similar energy to Punch Punch Forever.
maybe I guess, but it's definitely going to be filthier.
Punch Punch Forever is filthy only in the like mildest of ways.
Yeah, this is gonna be unforgivable. If I make it accurate to the comic. Let's see, what else have we got? Also, City the Animation put out another promotional video. I watched it. It had a lot more actual content from what the show was going to be. I linked it in here. I don't know if anybody's looked at it, but
did not.
This one's going to be a banger.
Nice.
It's going to be funny as hell. And it's got a really unique art style that I really like.
Very cool.
So we are officially excited for that one.
Cool. Oh yeah, I'm looking at the thumbnail. You posted it like an hour ago, and I was having a nap.
You posted it while I was half asleep, and I was like, "Is that Doraemon?"
It is. It's not Doraemon.
The art style kind of reminds me of the Doraemon.
It's more Nichijou.
It is kind of Nichijou, yes.
But and finally, looks CBR is reporting this as My Dress Up Darling season 2 is already the most popular anime, which is not really true because it's not out yet. But what is interesting about this is that it appeared in a New York Times column called 30 Shows to Watch This Summer.
Whoa.
Alongside no other anime.
Whoa.
Dan to Dan, Kaiju number 8, Sakamoto did nothing else?
No, well, I
Wow.
think this was also devoted to things that are coming out this summer.
Yeah, those are coming out this summer.
But
Unless I'm
but yeah,
misunderstanding something.
this is the one they hit alongside. Let's see, Netflix's Wednesday, Hulu's The Bear, and the upcoming King of the Hill revival.
Which rest in peace, Jonathan Joss.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
um,
Rip.
that was a real shame.
Rip
Uh,
to a real one.
Anyway, Louis, I believe you had another one, two in a row to bring us, possibly because you're trying to make some kind of point.
It's me. I'm here again.
Yep.
So, last week we watched My Hero Academia Vigilantes, a show focusing on superheroes that couldn't quite make it officially, so they had to resort to like vigilante justice in order to do good. Um, there is another superhero anime out this core called To Be Hero X or Cross, maybe? I'm not totally sure. Um,
I don't know. It's like
sometimes
Chinese,
right. It's
so who knows how they do it.
I think it's gonna be interesting watching it and like seeing how the two different like anime approach the superhero genre and like powers and all that.
Get
This
out your
one's
notes, students. We're going to compare and contrast this week.
this one's
Yeah.
got a little bit of spin on it already. I've seen a little bit about it, and it's got an interesting premise. Let's hit it.
Let's go.
Oh, to live in a world in which the host of a daytime TV show can be replaced at the last second because he was defeated in combat because he was exposed.
Wait, this is great. We should introduce this to real life. No, not really.
So yeah, like journalist combat.
Yeah, journalist
Like
combat.
any journalist can lose their position to a lower ranking journalist if the lower ranking journalist uncovers a scoop about them.
And then beats them into the wall.
Incredible.
Yes. Let's
Joey, do you want this blurb?
I'll read it. It's fine.
Okay.
Louis wants it.
I brought the show, so this is a world where heroes are created by people's trust, and the hero who has received the most trust is known as X, maybe Cross, maybe X, probably X. It's probably
It
X.
feels X.
In this world, people's trust can be calculated by data, and these values will be reflected on everyone's wrist. As long as enough trust points are obtained, ordinary people can also have superpowers and become superheroes that save the world. However, the ever-changing trust value makes the hero's path full of unknowns. ...
My super strength is determined by the confidence of chat.
Yeah.
It's
I
an
could
interesting concept.
No, it's cool. I could have so many superheroes, y'all.
Northern Lion would be so powerful.
He would. Oh my god. Oh no.
But he wouldn't
Uh-oh.
do anything. He'd just be like, "Hey, you guys hear about people showering twice a day?" But so yeah, actually, that intro is basically the introductory scene. They're showing us about this world where people can become heroes from trust. Is actually an advertisement for a hero named Nice. That's it. His name is
Nice.
Nice.
His name is Nice, and I like it.
He's nice. I think it's called like Tree Group.
Something like that, yeah.
This is another corporate superhero hell, which I'm sure will become more apparent over time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's doing this presentation, and the guy and his boss stops him, and he's just like, "What is all this shit about how a normal person can become a hero? We do not care about that. We are highlighting Nice."
Yes. I need you to all know that this was the first jump scare moment for me, in
Oh,
which
yeah.
the they
Yeah.
when you're first watching this show, it's like, we're watching an anime. It's animated in the the typical anime style you would expect. When his boss appears, he is a 3D animated man, and I got
That-
so scared.
Well,
Like-
yeah, that's one of the interesting things we'll get to talk about. Is this is a mixed media project?
Yes, and I didn't know that going in, and I was like,
Um,
"Whoa!"
yeah, part of it is a very relatively stylized chunky lines anime, um,
Hmm.
with a lot of like screen tone like effects,
Yes.
and the other part of it is sort of an arcane-esque 3D
Yeah,
I was,
animated situation.
so
I,
it's
I
giving
was
a little arcane. It's giving a little maybe Spider Verse.
I was saying to Joey before we started recording that I got Code Lyoko vibes from it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Code Lyoko ish.
Yeah, I
Like a
immediately
modern Code Lyoko, not like
Yeah.
I immediately drew the arcane parallel because I saw that fucking plane right beside the eye and nose that they always do.
Oh yeah,
And
they
that
do
one
that.
where they highlight it, and I was just like, they did it here. um,
I seen it.
but uh, but yeah, and his boss just gives him a bunch of shit about it. He's just like, "Are you daydreaming about being a hero again?" It's just like, we don't need that. You're a normal person.
Your job is to make advertisements.
Your job is to make advertisements, and the only way you can succeed is to work hard and be diligent. Do it over. And he gets a telephone call and he's like, shut up and shut that music off. And he goes to take the telephone call and it's just like, oh, yes. And he's just like, oh, what do you mean you've already received the proposal? And Lang just like whispers to him, it's like, well, you told me to send the proposal to the client first. And he's just like, I see. And the line goes dead. And he just
Mhm.
turns around and he's just like, pack your shit and get out.
You are fired.
You are
There's
very fired.
the noise goes boing.
Mhm. And yeah, the next scene is him standing on the roof with just a cardboard box full of his shit. And you're just like, oh, we're starting at suicide.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
And he's really thinking about it. But a blimp goes by and it's got the super heroine Moon on it. I appreciate the simplicity of these characters' names.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but you're not gonna get the fucking plastic man in this
Yeah.
universe.
Yeah.
But he would probably just be called plastic.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Play-Doh.
What if he's just called Man?
Rubber.
Anyhow, this advertisement blimp goes by,
Yeah,
and
it's got this full advertisement, and it stops him. It stops him from doing it because he's clearly down bad for Moon, and always
Oh,
has been.
Yeah.
yeah. But also,
he
she's
also
saying
wrote
something
all of her
very
commercials.
inspiring. Yeah.
So
I
he's just
think
like, why did I have to hurt myself like this?
we all had different versions of this that we watched, and I obviously went with the English dub on this, and his exact line at this moment was, "My stupid words are hurting my stupid feelings," and it made me laugh a lot.
It was a little more articulate in
Hmm.
Chinese, where it was just like, why did I write this to hurt myself? um,
Oh.
and yeah, he turns around because there's another one on the billboard. There's a lot of like big animated billboards around, and the other one is because he's thinking about all the commercials he wrote, and he wrote a bunch of the ones for Nice, and what
Mhm.
appears behind him. Talking about it's just like, hey, do you have a house? And he's like, no. And it's like, well, even if you've got a partner, you're gonna need a dwelling, and you can get one at Tree Group.
www.houses.com.
And he's just like, man, fuck you, Nice.
He puts out
And
his pinky?
yeah, I guess is a vulgar gesture in China, but as the advertisement goes off, Nice stays because he's actually there. He's descending.
Nice
Uh,
is real.
it's framed here where he falls down behind his pinky, which I think is pretty fun. And he
Yeah.
just pulls it back, and he's just like, "Oh, what? You're here?" And he walks up to him, and he's got a big smile on his face, and he steps onto the ledge beside him, and then he cuts towards him, and he does the double finger guns and goes right over the side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when I saw this, I was like, "Oh, he's gonna fly by. He's going to inspire this
Mm-mm.
this little dude to be better." No, he plummets
Yeah.
to his death.
And
He
the whole
does
Just
die.
the whole scene is in like John Woo's slow motion or Korean drama slow motion, if
Yes.
you will.
I up until he falls.
Yeah, there's a lot of like there's like slow moving like doves behind him,
That's the
and
thing. It does like almost look like he's going to like take off in that moment, and you're just like,
and
oh
and as
no,
soon as he
no,
goes
no.
over the edge, it goes back to normal speed, and he just falls down and hits the side of the building
Yeah,
twice. And crunches.
doesn't even he doesn't even get like the decency to just hit the ground. He fucking
Yeah,
smacks the side of the building a couple times.
he hits the eaves a couple of times, and then he lands in the Yamcha death pose,
Uh,
and there's a horrendous crunch.
yeah. Our hero looks over the side and he's like, "Oh, that's blood!
Oh man, oh no!
Oh god! Oh
I
no!"
thought he could fly.
I think
Yeah, that
he
was his
could.
first thought. That was his first thought. It was just like I thought he could fly, and he turns around, and there's a whole bunch of goons and a middle management lady approaching, and they're just like, "Where is Nice?" And he just points over the side, and they look, and they go, "Ah, shit!" And then they
Uh-oh.
turn to him, and one of them just straight up burlap sacks him over the head,
Yeah.
and they drag him away. And he comes to in like a parking structure, which also very Korean drama.
Yeah.
We always doing shit in parking
We-
structures.
Yeah.
Um,
We love it.
having meetings about illegal shit, getting abandoned by people who stole your kidney. But he comes to with the same group of people while the lady is having a discussion on her telephone, and she's just like, "No, we don't know why I did it. No, listen, just say he's going into seclusion for a week of training. We're gonna figure it out from there." Um, and while she's doing this, and the gang is holding him down, and he's just like, "I gotta get the fuck out of here. I don't know what the fuck's going on." And he immediately his first thought is to call out. It's just like, "Nice is dead." And you can hear the voice on the other end of the phone goes like, "Huh?" And the lady goes, "It's nothing. Don't worry about it. It was a fan." And she hangs up.
In the dub, she said, "Oh, he said nice is dead, sexy."
And he manages to break away from the guys to sprint for the stairs, and mid hanging up, she just wings him with a paint bucket.
This bucket, it's
He
so
fucking
laser
bullseyes
targeted.
him.
It's really fucking good.
It's really rough. She's got a killer instinct.
She fucking
Like
got him.
this is Daredevil and Hawkeye's arch enemy.
Just flinging paint buckets.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as the guys grab hold of him, he's just like, "Capturing me isn't gonna help. Like I didn't do it. I don't know why I
Can't
did it."
help you.
And
I
she's just
can't.
like that's to be decided. But and she looks down at him, and it was white paint, and it's covering like half of his head, and she's just like, "Doesn't it kind of look like Nice?"
I have an idea. And he's like, no, 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 no.
Because yeah, Nice has white hair and blue
Yeah.
eyes.
And this guy has black hair.
Ling is an average Chinese man.
Yes.
He has dark hair and dark eyes.
Mm-hmm. But we have the technology.
We have the
can fix
technology.
him.
They're going to make him that way. Yeah, and it's the goons. They're like combing his hair and doing his makeup and shit.
Yeah.
I think it's really good. They're like Lilo and Stitch quality, like black suit goons.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
God, we got to develop another word for henchman.
On it, boss.
But yeah, they're putting him into the Nice suit, and he's just like, this can't possibly work. And she's just like, "Listen, as long as you maintain the public's trust, you'll just
It'll be
fit the
fine.
mask. The
It'll
trust
be
will go into you.
fine."
You'll be able to do the job." And she says this to him, and it's just like, the only thing that matters is the public trust. And as she says that, they undarken the windows on the limousine, and there's about 100 people out there waiting for his return.
Yeah. He's like, no, I can't do it, and I
He's
can't
just like,
do
"I
it.
can't do it. Oh God."
She's like, your girlfriend is out there. He's like, why me?
Yeah, because this is where it started to scratch at the back of my head. because I was just like, this has all been very funny. This is a very comedic series. Ling is a pathetic protagonist in a very funny way, but it
Yes.
started to scratch at the back of my mind. It's just like, this is a horror story.
This is
Yeah.
scary, actually. I
This
actually,
is really scary.
you know, with the whole, I wanted to bring this up at some point. Is this giving like just a tiny dash cyberpunk,
I
like
have a
as a
theory.
genre?
I have a theory that this isn't the first Nice that has died.
Mm.
I thought that too. I thought
Yeah,
maybe so as well.
Because there's
also
there's a line later on. And sorry for skipping ahead to it really quick, but they're like, I don't remember who says it. I think it's the
lady.
the lady.
It's-
She's like,
I know
or
the
else
line.
this will happen to you too, or something like
And
that.
she said
Yeah,
something. I
there-
think the line was, "It was his choice to make. One day you'll make that choice
Yeah,
as well."
that's the line. That's the line.
Yeah, you'll have to make that choice as well, which could be that way, or it could be genuine life advice. But
Hard to say, but
yeah, this is where it started to scratch about the back of my head because he's right. It's not his girlfriend.
yes,
Right.
Um,
And
and he
they
is
just-
going to be essentially lying to her.
yeah,
they're going to be doing like a Wonder Woman 84 thing, but like
he's an
Mhm.
imposter.
Yes,
Um,
we have replaced your boyfriend.
this is fucking the Stranger Magnus archives shit.
Mhm. Mhm.
technically illegal.
Um,
Well,
but
don't worry, it won't be relevant for long. Spoiler
they,
alert.
but yeah, they kick him out of the limo, and he's already absorbed some of the public trust because he spins it into a perfect waltz turn,
Yes,
and
very
and
smooth.
puts his hand out, and he's just like, "It's been a while." And Moon
Wow.
doesn't immediately respond, which causes him to like panic internally. But he's learned to put on the facade very easily.
hmm
So he keeps it until she grabs him by the hand. And the things we aren't describing here is they're carrying most of the weight of this show on like editing and animation.
Very stylish. There was a training montage right before this,
Mhm.
where they're like telling the story, but they're also doing it intercut with the montage, and it's really good to look at. I really liked to see it.
Yeah, it's great. And this scene I appreciated as well because as soon as she puts her hand in his, the background like fades away and is replaced, and fucking makeup people come in and they don't move.
Yeah.
And like punch up their clothes and makeup,
Uh-huh.
and then a fucking couch slides in behind them, and they sit down
Yeah.
in one
It's
orchestrated
very-
moment.
It's very like theater-esque.
It's just like, yeah, these are people playing a part,
Yes.
which makes you wonder what the fucking basis of their relationship was to begin with.
Right. Right.
But yeah, they sit down, and it looks like it's going to be a publicity thing. It's going to be just a puff piece like program where they go on and they answer questions for their celebrity shit for their fans.
Yeah.
Except at the last second, the host has been replaced. This is hilarious.
Many
to me.
such
This
cases.
is what I was referring to in the opening joke. Because the previous host had been defeated in some kind of investigative combat by the 249th ranked hero. What was his name? Illuminator?
Yeah, something
Sure.
like that. He's
I just
got
kept
like
thinking-
long dark hair, and he's like,
The Eye of Truth.
He reminds me of Eraserhead's like nerdy little brother or something.
yeah,
I figure his shtick is that he's basically a super journalist.
Actually,
He
he
out
gets-
there exposing frauds.
Oh yeah, because there was like to rewind a little bit when they're back during the montage when they're talking about how Nice died. The lady was like, only one person has clicked this article about you dying. No one cares about
yeah,
you.
because they changed it, so they said that he
They said
died
that
instead of
Ling
Nice.
died. But
Yeah.
that's who the body was. They said it was Ling.
Yeah.
They made it up to look like him.
And they
I
only
know
got
that-
one view.
Only one view on that article.
And it sounds like it's a throwaway line, but then it's not.
Which is,
Yeah, because
again, it's more scratching in the back of my head because they have destroyed his identity. He has
yes,
nothing to go back to.
yes,
They have obliterated his personality. But yeah, this isn't supposed to be the guy. And the manager is freaking the fuck out. They're just like, who the fuck is this guy? And he starts off, it's just like, let me ask you an easy question. How many commercials has Moon been in? What's the total runtime?
And Ling's like, perfect. I was in advertising.
Yeah. Well, Moon is just like, well, even I don't know that. I haven't ever mathed it out. And he's just like, I'm gonna crush him. I've been investigating Nice
yeah.
since
This
the beginning.
journalist thinks he's hot shit with this.
I'm gonna crush him. And then Nice or Ling is just like, she's been in 183. The total runtime is 34 hours,
Yeah.
6 minutes.
He got the answer perfectly. Like, he was like, I was the one doing all those advertisements. I mean, he doesn't
Yeah.
say it out loud, but it makes sense. And you're just like, oh.
And he's just like, how would you possibly know that? Oh God. He's just like, okay, I'll have to wrap it up. And he creates this device. The trust stuff is a visible energy. So
Yeah.
he like takes this energy from people like in the street, like who touch him or his fans, and it like runs up his arm into his chest. Well, in this
Right.
situation, it runs out of his chest into this device.
Yeah.
And
It's
he's just
crazy.
like it's some kind of lie detector. It's just like, all right, second question. Is Moon your girlfriend? And Ling is just like, oh God, she's not really my girlfriend, but if I answer as nice, it'll probably it'll almost definitely trigger as a false.
Yeah, he's got
Like,
no
what
way
do
to
I
answer
do?
this.
I've got no way to answer this. And yeah, everybody's tense. The manager is sweating, and then he just says, "Moon is not my girlfriend," with perfect confidence. And the guy's just like,
Everyone's like,
just like
what?
the guy's just like, Pog, I got you. I knew you were a fraud. It's just like, because Moon has always been my goddess.
Yeah.
Because
Which
yeah,
is technically
that's
true.
true to him.
It's true to
He's
him.
a simp.
He is. Like, it's sweet. It's
She
sweet.
nearly kept him. She nearly kept him from killing himself with an advertisement. And he's just like, all right, well, fine. There's one last hurdle to clear. And they're just like, what? And I don't know why the set was built like this. There's a big neon heart behind them, and it
Right.
splits down the middle to create a portal through which Ling's boss comes.
But he's
Yep,
not like
his
his
old
boss
boss.
anymore. He's like
Robo Boss now.
yeah,
He's got like
like
robot armor.
he's like if the Krang took a hold of him or something.
And yeah, he's still wearing his suit, his shitty little suit, and his comb over is sticking out.
Yeah.
And it's very
Pretty
clear that like
funny.
none of this was supposed to happen.
No.
And Elucidator or Illuminator, whoever the fuck he is pontificating about how it's just like, oh, you guys are actually a bunch of abusive assholes who screwed this man and his
This
company.
particular dude.
Then he gets punched into the wall.
Yeah, he gets slapped out of the way because his boss wants to know when Nice is going to pay him.
What
Yeah.
I enjoyed about this was everyone was like, no wonder he's the 250th hero, and under his breath he's like, I'm 249.
I'm 249.
Yeah.
Yeah, and thus we have a fight with a supervillain, basically.
Yeah,
The
so we're
premise
finally
here,
gonna get to see some like hero action sort of stuff because
we get to see some action, and I actually quite like this because I don't know, this seems like perhaps a Chinese idea, but the fact the basic superhero, your basic Superman in this, he is not particularly bulky, and what he is graceful.
yes.
Like
Like,
he's seen
he's
practicing ballet and stuff.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
very easily dodging swings and doing twirls and hopping over. You know,
Mhm.
Mhm.
it's very easy and graceful for him, which I think
Yeah.
is quite interesting because like an American superhero, like a very basic American superhero, would just be impervious. He would,
Yes.
Right.
the blows would just glance off of him, but this guy
Mhm.
just doesn't get hit at all.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
But yeah, the thesis is here is that this guy has like black, oily stuff coming off of him, and he's using it to attack. This is a visual spectacle the whole way through.
Yes.
I don't know what they referred to it as in your guys' versions, but they called it fear, I think.
Mhm.
Fear. They
Yeah,
called it
yeah,
fear. Yeah.
that's the premise. Is that heroes draw their power from the public trust,
Yeah.
and villains can draw power from fear, from being
Yes.
feared or somebody else's fears. In his case, he powers up by sending out termination letters
It's quite funny.
at one point.
It's stylish though. It looks
It's
really great.
stylish as hell, but it's also silly on a very basic level.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
But yeah, he powers up by invoking the terror of being fired. And Nice can't take him for a minute. He can't penetrate his armor. It like fundamentally changes. It
Mhm.
fully covers his body. You can't see him anymore. And yeah, he gets blasted. And
Blasted.
he gets blasted. I don't know why Moon isn't helping in this fight.
Jump scared, startled. Good question.
Isn't she a superhero? But
Yeah.
she does end up indirectly helping in that she calls out to him and says, you can do it."
Ganbate.
Gambate.
Um, and it doesn't directly affect like bring him back, but it reminds him of his own belief that like even a nobody like him,
Can be a
the
hero,
he was
yeah.
saying at the beginning of the episode,
Yeah,
can be a
yeah.
hero, so he can grow into the person that he needs to be.
Yes.
Moon Ganbate so hard the animation style changed back to 2D.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
It looked
Um,
great.
And I really appreciate just slapping this guy into the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He-
A full chop to the forehead
He
into the
really
floor.
got him.
Um, and as they're doing the cleanup for this outside, they're just like, this is being reported as a terrorist attack
Terrorism, yeah.
Yes.
because this guy was wearing a device that amplifies the fear that he received.
Which kind of reminds me of the trigger drug in Vigilantes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Compare and contrast.
Yeah, he was artificially stronger. And these devices have been seen before in terrorist attacks sponsored by the Spotlight Group.
The Spotlight Group. We got world building, baby.
We got villains. Villains? Villains.
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 But
And then it's time to go to the tower.
yeah, after this scene, it's just like because he has a revelation about how he can be nice at this point, how he is
Mhm.
nice at this point. And he's
Yeah,
just
in a
like,
way.
okay, good. Well, I can finally send you home now. He's just like, home, huh? Just like, yeah, to Hero Tower, where all the fucking heroes live.
Where the heroes
Which,
live.
which has got to be a weird building to live in.
Yeah.
You don't put your entire like infrastructure in one building. I just like what
Don't put a build. Don't put an apartment building full of superheroes together, because
unless it's a reality show.
even if they're mostly nice people, like human beings can't get along, and you don't want that many superheroes fighting.
Right.
Ugh.
It's
And
just
they're arranged by rank as well. So like even more reason for them to build grudges and stuff.
I suppose as you go up the tower, they probably increase in power. So and their apartments probably get bigger, so there's at least less chances for noise complaints.
Which makes me wonder: is the building like an upside down triangle or something? Like
It looks like it did actually look like that. It looked like it was.
That's what I thought I saw. Yeah,
long pointed. It seems to be wider at the top.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is where they get into the elevator, and it's just like, yeah, your apartment's on the floor that you're ranked as.
Yep.
And his is way the fuck up there. And,
Yeah. He's like,
but he's not number one.
no,
No.
he's like 10 or something like that.
He's pretty high up there, but
but yeah, that's where they had the conversation. They're like, "Do we know why Nice killed himself?" And he's just like, "It was his choice, and it's a choice you'll probably have to face."
mysterious.
Ominous.
They said earlier, whenever he asked about it, that it's just like, "Well, somebody had too much pressure put on them by their boss and killed themselves."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like, "Oh, did that happen to Nice as well?" But yeah, he just like, all right, here's your stop, and he leaves into a ridiculous penthouse. This is only comparable to the guy's penthouse from Old Boy, in my mind.
I like
Where
the
he just,
Whoa.
statue that he has of himself.
yeah, because he immediately just goes like, that's kind of in poor taste. But yeah, it only compares to the Old Boy penthouse where it's just like one floor that's with
He's
no
got, like,
divider.
little pools running through it, and
Yeah. Like all he needs
Like-
is a like weird like orb wardrobe in there. But yeah, he just starts taking his outfit off, just leaving it in the floor. And he
Yeah.
goes and sleeps in his conversation bed. That's the only way. It's like a pit in the floor with pillows and like a full like a mattress that covers the whole space. It's a conversation bed.
and there's a
But,
girl in it.
Yeah, there's a
yeah,
girl
then he
in it.
realizes it's his lady friend. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
he goes to lay down, and he turns over and is just like, "Oh, Moon's here." It's just like, "Oh
They
yeah, they've been living together for a while."
Oh,
They did
shit.
spend a fraction of a second too long on her ass, I feel like.
Yeah.
I did. I wrote but.
Well, I think they were trying to like imply the intimacy of the scene and why it would be
Yeah.
uncomfortable for him.
Because
But
he's like,
Yeah.
because I
No,
don't
I
actually
get
know this
that.
girl. And I'm like,
I
oh,
get
this is
that.
going to be a wholesome scene because he just gently puts the little blanket on her.
yeah,
And I'm like,
he very
"Aw."
gently puts a sheet over.
We got to be so careful about this because I'm not done talking about this part yet. I get that, but like you know the majority of the internet's not going to realize that's what's going on. They're going to be like, "Ooh, haha, booty, haha,
I
he's just
know.
checking out
Media
her ass,
literacy
haha."
is dead. I know.
Care about the
Listen.
majority of the internet.
And so then he
Fortunately,
goes,
we here at the one episode rule are only serious.
We're
Only.
serious animation enjoyers. Anyway, you're trying to get to a point, Louis.
well, I was just gonna say, and then he covers her up like awkwardly, and then it's kind of cute and all that, and then we get to jump scare number 3.
Yeah, because as he's covering her, he's just like, he puts it over, and then he gets a
Aw.
different look at her from a different angle, and her fucking eyes are open, and he's just like, huh? And as he walks, he sort of walks around to the other side. She's just bloody. She's just in
He's
a pool of
fucking
blood,
dead.
clearly fucking dead in his apartment.
And you're just like, wait, that's not sweet. This is
And
then-
scary.
That's
Then
where
the
we come
opening
out.
credits hit.
Yeah,
That's it.
and then they play an outro, which I'm
Quite
trying
good.
to decide whether it's a banger or not.
It
I
is
thought
a
it was a
banger.
banger.
I've listened to it like 30 times
It's
in the
got
last
it's
month.
got pretty damn good synth in
Yes.
the background.
I liked it.
Also,
Ooh,
just genuinely interesting things are happening with the animation.
Yes.
oh yes.
This is going to be something we can continuously say.
Mhm.
The animation once
A
again
mixed media project. It's very interesting.
delightful.
This one guy in the opening credits, I posted a picture of him in the chat for us. I
Yes.
have a feeling he's like the leader of the organization or
That's
something.
X.
Whether or not,
He's listed as X.
oh,
That
is
is
he?
listed
Okay.
as
Okay.
X on my anime list.
Okay, well, I was right, I guess.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I feel like he's responsible for a lot of what's going on.
Perhaps. You'll have
so
to
yeah,
find out next time on
compare and
Be a
contrast.
Hero.
My Hero Vigilantes. Not that much to compare.
Not as much to compare and contrast.
Yeah, surprisingly different from each other.
There is that aspect that both shows have. Their heroes are run through like a government
hero
like,
organizations, yeah.
yeah.
And there's the base similarity of superhero shit being broadly about identities.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Other than
but,
that,
like
quite different.
whereas like quirks in My Hero Academia, like you're born with them, whereas the powers you can get into Be Hero are bestowed upon you by the masses.
Yes.
Which I think it's interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah, there's a
sorry,
lot
Omar.
more going on here. We got the Prince and the Pauper shit, except the fucking Prince is dead.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Mhm. Um, I mean, I like also like aesthetically quite different from each other.
Right.
They
Mhm.
both look
Oh yeah.
great in
Well,
different ways. Yeah, I really liked this, y'all.
yeah, me
Yeah,
I
too.
really want to see more of this.
I'm
Oh,
interested in this.
I
Look,
did
uh,
also want. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
go
off.
go ahead.
I did also there's two things I knew about this going into the show. One is that it was a superhero show, and the second one that is that it's an anthology.
Mm.
So it'll have,
Um,
yeah, different focus
yeah.
characters, is what you were saying.
From what I understand, every 3 episodes, it focuses on a different character.
Mm.
Oh, that's interesting.
There were a lot of characters in the outro intro thing, like
Hmm.
a lot of characters, and I was like, whoa.
And I think if I'm understanding what I read right, it's so we're starting off at nice, whatever number he is.
Mhm.
Each hero is counting down up until we get to X.
All right, we'll
Ah,
find out what it's like at the top.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, I'll at least watch the other episodes for nice,
Hmm. Yeah, because
just to see the conclusion of the arc.
that is another thing I noticed about this. Most animes we're seeing these days, are 12 episoders.
Mhm.
This is 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. They ordered a double batch.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm here for. Like, a
They
nice
knew.
long show. They knew they had something here, huh?
Yeah. What's hilarious is the show, like the original show that this is based off of, is such a disgusting concept.
Mm.
It's like this loser nerd woman, like misogynist, like horrible person, like gets down on his luck and like manages to get like superpowers through like gag means,
Mm.
and like it's just like he does like really gross things with it.
He's like
Whoa.
horrible toilet man.
Right, right.
Yeah. So it's like, how did this spawn out of that?
Well, they were like,
Well,
hey, what if we do this but better? What if we
somebody
do
Right.
this but like good this time?
somebody saw the animation quality they were producing and said, "Hey, do you want to work with Aniplex on something a little more worthy?"
Yeah.
But
Oh,
anyway, if you believe we're deserving of the public trust, you can tell us about that at oneepisodecast@gmail.com.
that is one word, not the number. Please interact with us on Blue Sky and Twitter. We are at One Episode Cast. Every tweet, every like you send us gives us a little more superpower.
I need,
I'm extending my hand towards you.
no, you're doing the finger guns as you fall
Yeah, I'm
off.
doing the
Pray,
finger.
pray for
No,
Grandpa. Make him strong.
he's getting too strong. He can't be stopped.
Okay, that's enough.